Welcome back to my channel, and I hope you are having an amazing day. Today's shout out goes to _life of Torix for being the first person to comment on my last video. I love you, babe. And now get comfortable, relax, and let's get right into it. Story number 1. I am a pupil teacher and a trotro driver, while my wife is a nurse. We married as virgins. During our courtship, we used to go out more often. We visited important places like the beach, museums, etc. together. It was really fun during those days. I drive her to a workplace in my trotro before I go to work every morning. She finishes at 4 p.m. and I finish at 3 p.m. in order to catch up to her before I pick her up. I normally drop some of my pupils off at their houses first, and by the time I get to my wife's workplace, it is almost 4 p.m. Then I pick her up. We buy some foodstuffs on the way home. I only do trotro work on weekends, especially Saturdays and vacations. Finally, we got married and things were going well. We had our first intimacy, during which I broke her virginity, just as she did mine. She got pregnant a few months later. Fast forward, we had a boy. He is now 7 years old. Since our boy came into the family, my wife has never been interested in outings again. It is as if she has completely lost interest. When I suggest going out, she says she's tired and that I can take our boy. I still fulfill my duties as a father and husband without fail. I don't give her chop money because she knows where I keep my money for household expenses. She can use any amount she wants. I don't mind because the money belongs to us. However, the whole problem is that she has stopped being intimate with me for the past 4 years. Whenever I make advances, she says she is menstruating. Throughout these years, I have never cheated on her, not for once. I can cook, wash, clean, dry, etc. All thanks to my stepmother. I wasn't happy in my relationship, but for the sake of our son, divorce isn't something I have thought of, nor will I ever consider it. I still maintain my composure. A week ago, she stopped going to work. I asked her why, and she said she was on leave. On leave? Without even telling me. I was very surprised. For how long? I inquired, and she said a month. I responded okay, and let the issue slide. Just yesterday, a colleague of hers came to drop a child off at my school. She saw me and asked how my wife is doing, and I said she's doing well. Then she asked me if I knew the reason why my wife was suspended from work for 3 months. To be honest, I was completely lost that morning. Suspended. She told me she was on leave. I was starting to lose my composure, but I tried to maintain self-control at all costs. A colleague said she was having an affair with one of their bosses. They were caught in his office, so both of them were suspended without pay. I couldn't say anything further. I just thanked her and left for class. So for the past 4 years, my wife has been giving herself to her boss, a married man, while ignoring me, a legally married partner. I love her so much, and as I said earlier, I hate divorce. She doesn't know that I know the reason she's home. Please, what should I do? Should I let her know that I am aware of what happened, or should I wait for her to tell me the truth herself? You are really in a tough situation, babe. And honestly, your marriage doesn't look good right now. Your wife's affair with her boss is a serious betrayal. You've been doing your best as a husband and father, while she seems to have completely lost interest in you. Don't wait any longer, babe. You need to talk to her about what you know. Keeping it to yourself won't help and will only make things worse. She needs to know that you know. Now, you mentioned that you still love her and don't want to get divorced. But babe, you deserve better. This woman looks like she has checked out of your relationship a long time ago. Don't let your fear of divorce stop you from finding what is best for you and your child. Life is too short to stay in a relationship where you are not appreciated. To be completely honest with you, babe, you are at a turning point. Be ready for the possibility that your marriage might be over. You need to focus on what is best for you and your son now. You deserve better, babe, and I'm wishing you all the best. And now, if you have any advice for the sender, just write story number 1 and leave your advice and opinions. It's going to be in the comment sections. You're reading them. Before we continue, please subscribe and like this video. It is very important too. And thank you so much for the support. And now let's move on to story number 2. When I first met Michael, I was working as a call girl. I was in my early 20s, struggling to make ends meet after leaving home. I didn't have an easy upbringing. I grew up in a broken family, and my parents' constant fighting pushed me out of the house at a young age. I turned to the streets and started doing what I could to survive. It wasn't easy, but I was making money and living independently. Michael came into my life unexpectedly. He was a kind man, always treating me with respect and kindness during our encounters. He would listen to me, laugh with me, and made me feel valued for who I was beyond my job. After a few weeks of seeing each other, he asked me to go out on a proper date. I was hesitant, no used to being treated this way, but I agreed. As we got to know each other, Michael encouraged me to leave my old life behind. He was patient and supportive, and I fell deeply in love with him. We decided to get married after a year of dating, and I thought I had finally found my place in the world. But old habits die hard. Michael knew about my past and accepted it. We didn't have any kids because we wanted to enjoy being together a little bit before having children. I wanted to focus on building our life together without the stress of parenthood. Occasionally, I would feel the urge to go back to my old ways due to financial strain, but I stayed committed to Michael. As our relationship grew, Michael showed curiosity about my past. He often asked me questions about the life I left behind, wanting to learn everything about me, including the jobs I had done. I trusted him, so I opened up about my experiences, including the not so flattering moments that made up my old life. In a moment of vulnerability, I mentioned that I had once had a threesome with some clients. I thought it was just part of my past, a story to share. A few weeks later, everything changed. Michael approached me one evening with a mischievous grin and suggested that we should have a threesome with one of his co-workers. My heart dropped. How could he even ask me that, especially after everything we had built together? After I had shared my past with him, how could he turn around and suggest something like this? When I expressed my shock and hate, he initially defended his proposal by saying that I've done it before and that this was a way to prove to him that I truly loved him. It felt as if he was downplaying our relationship and my feelings. I was devastated. It was more than just a suggestion. It was a complete betrayal of trust. When he saw how genuinely upset I was, he backtracked quickly. He claimed he was just joking, trying to lighten the mood. But deep down, I sensed there was more to it. A few days later, I unintentionally discovered that he had been seeing his co-worker for some time. They had been texting frequently, and everything clicked into place. She was not just another co-worker, she was a sidechick. Michael insisted that she was just an old fling, and his heart belonged to me. He swore that he wanted to work on our relationship and be committed to making things right. But how could I believe him? He had completely shattered my trust. The very man who I thought would stand by me and support me now seemed to be the one making me feel less than I was. I told him I didn't trust him anymore and was thinking of leaving the marriage, and he said I should stay and that any man who finds out about my past will leave me. I couldn't believe he could say this to me. I packed my bags and left his place last week. He wants me to come back and keep saying I am overreacting. I love him, but I feel like I deserve better. Am I overreacting? No, babe. You are not overreacting. Michael is full of red flags. Trust is a key part of any relationship, and once it is broken, it can be very hard to rebuild. You are definitely not overreacting, babe. You have every right to feel hurt and betrayed. Kudos to you for living, for knowing your worth, and knowing that you deserve someone better. Your past is your past and shouldn't define your future. You deserve a partner who values you and doesn't push you into uncomfortable situations just to satisfy his own desires. Babe, your well-being and happiness are very important. If you feel that staying with him means giving up your self-respect, then babe, just be on your own. In the end, you deserve love that feels safe and respectful. Take your time to heal and think about what you want for your future. You have the strength to choose the path that is right for you. And you deserve a relationship where you feel valued. I'm wishing you all the best, babe. Take care of yourself. And now, if you have any advice for this sender, just write story number 2 and leave your advice and opinions. She's going to be in the comment section reading them. And now let's move on to story number 3. Hi V, I need advice. I think my mom dislikes me and I'm falling into depression. I'm 23 years old and currently 30 weeks pregnant, but I still work as a private school teacher and I'm also a level 200 student. Since childhood, I've always wanted to leave home because of how my mom treated me. I'm my dad's first child and the only girl among 3 boys. I also have 2 other siblings who are not biological. Whenever I do something wrong, my mom insults and curses me. These are not just normal insults. They are hurtful enough that I cry for days. I've loved my mom and helped with home responsibilities since I was 7. My dad became very sick for years, and during that time, I quit school to work and take care of the family since my mom had just given birth to our last born and couldn't work. Eventually, things got better and I started school again. I worked hard after senior high school and managed to build something small on my father's land. I've always fought for my privacy, but this seems impossible in our home. Visitors and family members are brought into my room all the time, and they never leave without breaking something, and I just have to deal with it. I've been through a lot of hardship, and I can't even begin to explain it all. 3 days ago, I came back from work and tried to turn on my television, but it wasn't working. I asked my cousin, who sleeps in the room with me, and she denied touching it, saying she left the room for my dad, so I should ask him. When I asked my dad, he also said he hadn't touched it. Suddenly, my younger brother, who is 19, started shouting that I was lying, and that is not what my cousin said. I got very angry and told him to shut up. He spoke back and I lost it. I insulted him and demanded that he return a phone I bought for him. 3 days later, I saw him with the phone and asked for it back, but he started insulting me. I became extremely upset and forgot I was pregnant. In my anger, I grabbed him by the chest, and in the struggle, he hit me and the phone got destroyed. My dad separated us, and I think my mom would have slapped me if she had been around because that is what she usually does when I fight with my siblings. I was restless and so angry that I demanded my phone and some money I had lent him. He insulted me again, and I lost it when he insulted my partner, who provides for him sometimes. I took my slippers to hit him, and my mom rushed in. She kept hitting me while others held her back, and while I was crying and talking back, my dad spat on my face. Honestly, this is a day I will never forget. I called my partner and told him what happened. I want to leave the house, but he insists I stay until I give birth. I have money to move out, but he says it will look like I'm overreacting. I can't stop crying and haven't eaten anything since morning. My baby has been kicking and I'm scared it will affect him. But I don't have an appetite for anything. I don't want to go and stay with my partner because of past relationships. And he hasn't performed the full marriage rites yet. Just knocking. I feel lifeless, V. I need your advice. Oh, babe, I'm so sorry for what you are going through. Now, first and foremost, you deserve to feel loved in your home. And it seems like that is not happening. The way your family talks to you and treats you is not okay, especially in your situation. And you shouldn't have to accept constant insults and disrespect. It is completely normal to want to live this kind of environment. You need to think about your mental health and your baby's health. I know your partner is saying another thing, but this is about you, babe. You are a grown-up woman and you can make your own decisions. Consider if staying is what is really best for you. If you can afford to move out, it might be best for you and your baby to move to a place where you feel safe and supported. Talk to your partner about how you feel. And if he cares about you, he should understand why you need to find a calm place to stay. Babe, to be really honest with you, you need to take control of your life. It is your life. You don't have to stay in a situation that makes you feel this way. Your health and your baby's health should be your first priority. It is time to make a decision that puts your well-being and your baby's well-being first. Move away, babe, for your peace of mind. I'm wishing you all the best. And now, if you have any advice for this sender, just type story number 3 and leave your advice and opinions. She's going to be in the comment sections reading them. Let's move on to story number 4. Hi, good morning, V. I need your advice and that of your followers. I'm a 27-year-old woman who got married to my husband, and we have 2 kids. But I am not in the same country as my husband after 2 years of marriage because he decided I should travel abroad to assist us financially. Although I never liked the idea, he told me it would be a good opportunity for me to further my studies. So we used the money to get me a visa so I could start earning quickly. A little background story. My husband met me when I was 20 and we dated for 2 years before getting married. We stayed married for 2 years before I traveled. I was scared of losing my husband. He's not very rich, but he's generous, and I don't lack anything. V, when we say men are good, my husband treats my family like his own, even my siblings. Before I traveled, we came to an agreement. I told him I knew that men cheat and that I would be going far, so he could date, but not in my area. I also had to send the money I earned outside the country to his account, so he could use it to boost his business. I have kept my side of the bargain until now, but I found out that not only did he date someone in my area, but this woman has also moved in with him. Before I left my kids with my mom, but he decided to take them. What confuses me is that this man has not changed. He calls me every day while I'm away, sharing his plans and hopes for our future together. He also tells me this woman is just there because he can't be alone, and he even made me friends with her. This woman has been living in the same house with him for over a year, and he claims he doesn't love her. But there are rumors in the area that I dumped him, and that is why he's with her. The reason I am writing is that I asked him to choose between me and the lady in his house. He said he would choose me over 1,000,000 times. I gave him a deadline, saying I didn't want that woman in my house and that she should leave. I forgot to mention that he gave her a business worth 1 million. But imagine this, the deadline has passed and the woman is still in the house. It feels like I'm overreacting, and he wants to send her away in a way that won't hurt her, so no one is angry in the future. I don't understand. I've been a fool this whole time. What pains me the most is realizing that my children are growing up in a situation that resembles polygamy, while their dad and I suffered. I want to end this. I asked my family to help me get a divorce when I return to my country in 3 months and leave everything I've worked for. Please tell me. I am so confused. Does this man really love me? Or is he just using me to take my savings for his business? I really need your advice. Oh, babe, this is your issue. Your husband has crossed serious lines. He encouraged you to go abroad for new opportunities. And now he has started a relationship with another woman who is living with him. In the first place, you shouldn't have told him to cheat. You are married. It is his responsibility to stay faithful to you. It is true some men cheat, but not all men cheat. You should have never asked him to cheat on you in the first place. Babe, this man seems like he's just taking advantage of you. You gave him a deadline and the woman is still with him. Even though he told you he's going to choose you 1,000,000 times, he doesn't love you. He says this woman is living with him because he can't be alone. Is he a toddler? Is he a child? Like, make it make sense. You are a married man. Babe, leave that man. I know you've done a lot of things together, but leave him. You deserve a partner who truly respects you and your marriage. His claim that he will choose you over her means nothing, especially if he's not taking action to send her away and is allowing her to stay in your home. What is even worse is how this situation affects your children. They are growing up in a place that isn't stable. Your children are around this woman, a woman you don't know. Babe, you should want better for them. It is very important for you to think about what you truly want. You have every right to ask for a divorce if this is not the life you want for yourself and your children. Babe, when you return to your country, make a solid plan. Talk to your family about how you feel and get their support. Be strong and focus on what is best for you and your children. You deserve respect and love and a partner who truly values you. I'm wishing you all the best. And now, if you have any advice for the sender, just write story number 4 and leave your advice and opinions. She's going to be in the comment sections reading them. And now, this is a judgment-free zone. We listen, we don't judge. So please be kind to them in the comment section. Also remember that your advice and opinions really matter. They need your advice. So don't forget to leave them down below. If you have a story for me, there's a link in the description down below. Just click on it and it will take you straight to my TikTok page. Write out your story and send it to me. Please don't write, can I send you my story, or I have a story for you. Don't do that. Immediately you enter into my DM, write out your story and send it to me. And when I post your story, I'm going to notify you and let you know your story is up. If you've not subscribed to this channel yet, please subscribe and like this video. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell so that when I post, you'll be notified immediately. I hope you enjoyed this video and thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Okay, I'm done. Bye.